Hello everybody, and welcome back or welcome to my channel. This is the Nubian Review, where books, journaling, and lifestyle comes to life. um, Today I'm going to walk you through my weekly setup. Now, um, the page that I opened up with, this is my daily spread for Saturday. On Saturday, I normally use two spreads to focus on and strategize for the week. And so there are some things that I'm still jotting down. I normally don't get finished with this page until Sunday, working on my menu, classes, books that I'm reading currently, my cat's diet. I am a cat mama of 6. Yes, 6. And getting their diets together can be tricky because I find myself making multiple meals for multiple cats. But that's a whole nother video at another time. Today, I want to focus on getting my daily pages set up for the week. And, I guess have a little planner chat, A little planner chat. Now, I think if you saw my previous video, I talked about or mentioned the need to not have too much planner supplies because, we can get heavy into consumerism, and at the end of the day, it's all pretty, it's all lovely, but it's not pushing me towards really saving anything or retirement. I try to support um, independent creators and items that they're selling. But I'm also on this journey of being more mindful of my spending. Now, you may see something furry in the corner. That is my eldest daughter. Her name is Isis. That is her tail. Yes, I call my cats my kids, and so I do call them by their sex. And she's a female tabby. I've had her for her and her brother because they were the only two in the litter, and so I just adopted her and her brother, and so they've been with me ever since. And then the other cats that I have adopted. Sorry, I need to move this a little bit. The other cats I have adopted, we have found them. Um, they were street kitties. They were babies. Like, they were still drinking mama's milk, and they were abandoned. And so I call my son the cat whisperer because he actually, I don't know what it is about him, but every cat in the neighborhood, they love them some him. So we ended up getting another set of cats. They were kittens. I think I want to say they were about 6 weeks. And they were just laying on the sidewalk. And my son, one of them will always come up to my son, to make a long story short. And he ended up coming home one day, and he was like, "Mom, can we please, take in these two cats and these two kittens? They're so cute, blah 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 blah." And I was like, "Okay, let's go ahead." And the goal was to just house them, get them spayed or neutered because I didn't know what sex they were at the time, and then adopt them out. One of the cats ended up dying due to feline AIDS, and that is a thing, you guys. And so when I took his body to the city to have it disposed, um, the veterinarian, she basically told me that, she was asking me for the symptoms. And I told her, there was actually no symptoms because we literally just got them. And this was like when there was hard to get any real appointments, vet appointments during COVID. Um, there were a lot of restrictions. And so, to make a long story short, trying to get them fixed and vaccinated, neutered. They were both males, come to realize. Get them neutered and vaccinated. Um, but before I was able to do that, the kitten who actually followed my son home, because we went back and got his brother. We couldn't leave the brother out in the street and just take in one. So we ended up bringing both of them into the home. But anyway, he ended up passing before he was able to get those required things, especially, the vaccines can probably wait a little, but I'm definitely I definitely believe in getting your animals spayed or neutered. It's just it's good for them. It expands, their livelihood um, when they're living with other cats. So you all have to forgive me because she's literally on my table, and I've been putting her off literally all day. I just got to the point to where I'm tired right now, but I do want to set up my weekly bullet journal pages for the weekend. I'll get her off the table before I go to bed. So yeah, that was that story. So when he passed away, I just end up keeping the brother, and he's still with us. He's 3 years old now. So that was that cat. So we would have had 4. So then we had 3. And so once everybody, they were spayed, neutered, vaccines, they had, everything was copacetic. We move. And then my son, he runs into another neighborhood cat who just had babies. And he was, this story is so funny. I was literally, he called me. He said, well, Mom, can we um, bring the kittens home? And these were even younger than, the last set. I think they were about, I want to say about 5 weeks, because they were still drinking baby milk. We still had them on kitten milk. So that was a journey in itself. It was, I wouldn't say it was kind of touch and go, but when they're that young and they're abandoned, they have been abandoned by their mom. They definitely need it is definitely a timing thing before with them being on the streets by themselves. Now, to tell you the whole story, I don't know how long they were by themselves, but we ended up finding the mom, I would say 2 months later or something like that. So she comes by the house and she visits, and I do feed her. I'm unable to take her in because I am just not in the mental or financial position to take on any more furry babies. Okay, so that was 2 sets, and so they are now, I think, they're still kittens. They're about 8 months right now, I think. And so fast forward, I'll tell you guys the last story about this other kitten that I have right now. I'll tell you guys that at a future date. But I ended up by default acquiring one more kitten. And I'm like, okay, the objective is always to get them spayed or neutered, vaccinated, and just, find a forever home for them. But, after a while, uh, um, they become part of the family. And so that he's I will call my wild child. And that's the one I have to spend more time um, disciplining, but he's a very, very loving kitten. I think he is a little older than the set that my son found abandoned at a park. I think he's a little older. So they are about 9 months, and so he may be about 10 or 11 months. So the whole process of getting them spayed and neutered, that was a challenge in itself. And like I said, I will save that for future videos because it was a lot. But yeah, so I am a cat mama of 6. So what you're seeing right here is me laying down my washi tapes for the week. And after this one, I will actually explain to you what I am doing. I use an A4 bullet journal. And so this is my planner for 2024. But I have a feeling that because I've been doing daily pages, because I just try to keep track of everything in one journal. So I've been using daily pages, and I think by the end, in 6 months, we're now in March, I feel by maybe June or July, I would need another bullet journal. Yes, another bullet journal. This is an A4, and so I think by that time I will probably need another one, the same size. But the difference between, I guess, that one and this one is that I won't need to do any setup pages. And setup pages took quite a few pages in the front of the journal. I want to say it took about, I would have to go back and count. But if I just to guess right off the top of my head, I would say about 10 or 15 pages for my setup. Because how I'm doing it is that I have the setup pages for multiple journals. So example, I have a budget journal where I track all my budget and all those things, but I have a budget spread in here. I get a goal journal, but I write down some of my goals in here. I just expand on it in my goals journal. So I have different journals, but this is like the hub for everything. Once the ideas hit this page, I transfer it to the necessary journals and planners. So I also have what I call my bill calendar right here. So I write down all the bills, all of my bills for that month. And I got this from the Dollar Tree. If you're familiar with the Dollar Tree here in the United States, it's now $1.25 tree. But that's where I got this one from. Simple calendar, just write down my bills. And then what I've done was took the calendar actually out of that book, and I made it for my year at a glance. So so I'm trying to be resourceful, but at the same time strategic in how I set it up. So this is for the week of, I think, March 10th through March 18th, I think. So this is how the pages are set up. So right now we're on Saturday as I set this up. This is normally a basic Saturday page for me. As I mentioned in before, this is my circular journaling method, where I write things throughout the day. And I'm actually doing something new. I've read the book 52 Mondays. It's very good, very insightful. I just got, it's a book, it's really quick. Like, it's maybe a few hour read, but it gives you little tips on how to get to your goals without being overstressed. And so the author give you, you know, week by week assignments to do. So this is week 1 for me. So I write down a goal for my week 1. Week 1 is what motivates you. And so every day I start off with what is motivating me right now. So I haven't wrote it down yet. But yeah, this is my day. This is my menu for the week so far. And that may change. And because some days when I have class, I make meals that are easy to just throw in the microwave oven and warm up. So and these are the books that I'm currently reading. If you see a cross in them, those are the ones that I have gotten to so far this weekend. And so this right here is for the week. Actually, I need to write a couple of more books down. I need to cross out this too because I started this one today. Call Her Miss Ross. Very good book. I think I'm about 10 pages in. About Diana Ross. It covers basically the span of her life until I think to after she was with the Supremes. I haven't read the entire book yet. I just started, and it's actually pretty good. This is a homage to Diana Ross because her birthday, this is now March. Her birthday is March 26th. She shares a birthday with my dad, who is no longer with us, but I just thought that, you know, this would be a good book to read at this time. And because, you know, this channel also, I also do book reviews and book chats and book journaling. I will be doing a book chat on Diana Ross. But getting back to my weekly spread out. So this is something that I do every Saturday or Sunday. I start my weeks off on Sunday. Most people start theirs on Monday and they have their week like Saturday and Sunday together. But I like to get a fresh start on Sunday on my planning. So what I do is I put the washi tape on the side, and as you see, as I went on, I adjusted, you know, from top to bottom, only because I don't want it to be too bulky in one area as opposed to the other one. So this would be Sunday, Monday. And so let me draw that out. So what I do is I always set up Sunday and Monday. I set those 2 pages up because really towards the beginning of the week, I'm not going to say it's slow, but it's basically the same thing. I mean, nothing really ever changes on these 2 days. So when you see the lines right here, you know that it's a 1-day page. And so I always only do Sunday and Monday. Reason being is because on Tuesdays, it's a little busier for me. I have a lot of things that I may have to do on Tuesday. So what I do is I start off. I will start. I will start I will start the page on Tuesday, and I will show you what I'm talking about. So the first line is for the date. The second line is for priority task. And so let me set this one up as well. And we have the date, and then we have our task list right here. Okay. Next part we're going to set up. I'll get to the 3rd page, but this is Monday and Tuesday. So what I express is that I do what I call my circular journaling. I have to get that word out because it sounds tongue twisting. Circular journaling. Circular. I start off with a goal or my first event of the day, and then I document it. even if the day is not going as planned, right? This is my way of tracking things that are going on with myself, and I'm able to look back on these days and say, okay, that's what happened, good, bad, or whatever it may be. And so I use this method to help me document and track my day. I also do what we call the inventor of the bullet journal. His name is Ryder Carroll. Get the book, is really great. What he calls it rapid logging. Rapid logging is the process of just writing everything down. Everything down, randomly, planned, unplanned, just writing everything that goes on in the day. And so this is a basic setup. Now, the second part to this setup is actually, I could never find, okay, here we go. Here we go. I always do 6 boxes. And so I put the 6 boxes right here. So my 6 priority tasks for that day. And then as I get them done, I check them off. If I don't get them done, I just draw an arrow for the next day. And actually, for Monday, I'm going to just leave it at 4, because Monday is just, I have other things over the previous week that I probably need to get done. And so some of those tasks, the important ones will be at the top, but the other ones, as I do them, I would just write out the list for them. So that one is really, that's not a big deal. Okay, so let's get to the second page. So the second page, I may write down 6 boxes. 4, 5, 6. Priority tasks, they will go in order. So let me write down the dates for tomorrow. Will be Sunday, March the 10th, 2024. Now, the reason why I only have 4 is because I already have my Friday list that I'm still working on, and that I'm still jotting notes down from. So I have what you call a weekend list that I'm still writing things on notes of note sheets of and notes of paper and stuff like that. So all of that stuff will be transferred in here by tomorrow evening, and so I'll be able to come back to it and look at it. So let me just date some of these pages. Monday will be the 11th, 24. And so what I do is I write down priority tasks, put the task here, and then I write down my first thing of the day, second thing of the day, third, and conclude. So this is Sunday, Monday, and so now we have Tuesday, and this is where I stop. I never go past Tuesday, actually, when I'm writing my list. But like I said, it's sometimes it gets busier during the course of the week. Tuesday is one of my busier days, and so I may need both of these spreads, and so it just saves me time when I do not put the header down for all of them. And if I do, like if I need an extra sheet, I'll just go ahead and write on it and just scratch the day out. It's not a big deal. But learning from previous weeks this year, how I've been using it, Tuesday has always been one of those days I would use an extra sheet. It may not happen this week, but I just want to be prepared not to write anything down. And if that is the case, this will be Tuesday, and then we get to Wednesday. and then Thursday, and then Friday, and then Saturday. And then I will still do a Saturday spread. But it will be, instead of being in 2 pages face to face, it will be 1 page and then it'll have another page. So that's basically how that will evolve. So this is my planner. So what is Tuesday? Tuesday, March, I think it's March the 12th. Yes, March the 12th. Called Super Tuesday. For those of you who are voting in your elections, your primaries. So that will be that for this particular journal. Now, pages, this right here is a fairly quick setup for my A4. And this is what I do. If you hear some scratching in the back, that's one of my kitties scratching for the litter. Yes, it's loud. I moved down a couple more lines because I have this ribbon right here. Washi right here. So then this moves down a little. Still doing the same process, but just moving it down a little further. I think this is probably middle right here. Another thing is that I really don't measure. You may see my sweetie's head in the shot. Are you awakened by loud litter scratching also? I am too. Okay. So this is my setup. I got one more thing I need to do. I need to put my bullets right here. I don't want this to be a long setup. I just want to give you an idea of how I set my pages up, and to give you an idea of how I use my A4 bullet journal. Today is Tuesday. Tuesday, it really a lot of things I need to follow up on. It probably should be longer than this, but I think we're going to just stick with this for now. And so this is my setup for the week of March 10th, Sunday, March 10th through Saturday, I think March the 18th of the month. So come back soon. I actually will be showing, more details as I create other spreads, functional spreads that are useful for me. I will be sharing more details about that, as I go along. This is actually my first weekly setup on my YouTube channel. Normally I save it for reviewing books, but I really wanted to get into the planning aspect of it. And so, just sharing my thoughts and how I plan in that little corner of the world. And so before I actually click off, I was just looking at this. I want to add this extra washi. I wonder if the contrast, does blue on blue work? Nah, it doesn't look too good. It doesn't look too good. This page may look different by the time you guys see it again, but I do plan on showing some of my spreads in the future and how I've used them and what I've wrote on them. I gave you a brief example of my Saturday spread, of how I'm using it. And so before I go to bed, I will be concluding my circular journaling right there, and then tomorrow I will be mapping out some thoughts and things I have to do for the week. So this whole spread will be done by the end of tomorrow, and I'm actually setting up for the next week. So yeah, this is plain and simple my A4 bullet journal. If you want more content on bullet journaling, reading journals, which I will be doing that in Q2. I've actually have a journal. I will show you right here. I have a bullet journal, and I started the setup, but I'm not really. This is my A4 Archer and Olive reading journal, and so I have not. I set up some pages, but I really haven't gotten into collecting the pictures. Just filling in the setup pages. I've been doing a lot of reading. However, I have not taken the time out to document anything in my bullet journal, in the sense that I'm not creating any, I haven't created any spreads. I do have another journal that I carry around, that I jot down what I'm reading and quotes and stuff like that. But all of that will be shared on a future video. Hopefully by Q2, I will have some type of consistency in my YouTube planning, with my bullet journal things, and my bullet journals and my reading journals and my reading reviews and reading chats, and just trying to get all of that together. But for now, let's take this A4 journey. I want to encourage more people to look into, different sizes of journals. I know I've seen people who've used the B5, which is, I would say, I don't have a B5 in front of me right now, but it's almost the size of this. Maybe I will do a comparison video one day. And so the biggest thing I've always hear from people is that other YouTubers and planners is that B5 is too big, or A4 is too big. And so a lot of people, they may feel comfortable with the smaller journals. At some point, I would like for everybody to, look into exploring different sizes. I've been a full sheet planning paper gal, since planning. Like, I've been planning in my planners since high school. That was 100 years ago. So, so now, I just finally get really comfortable with a method that works for my lifestyle. And like I said, over time that may change, or it may just evolve into something bigger, right? And so I encourage everybody to, find their muse. Like, what makes you happy? How are you going to get to that goal? What are your planning strategies? Share with the community. Share with me. So that will be it for this video. If you have made it this far in the video and you like the content, please leave a heart, subscribe, and click the thumbs up. So thank you for staying with me and while I do a very wordy chat. And hopefully I will see you soon. Bye-bye.